What if the pastor cannot accept the council's recommendations? A huge question, a very important question. So let's try to understand the question. We've said that a pastoral council is a council that investigates and reflects and proposes its conclusions to the pastor in the form of recommendations. Now, in this case, what's happened is a council has gone through the investigation part, it's gone through the reflection part, it's gone through the conclusion part, the part of forming its mind, and then suddenly at the end, after all this investigation, all this reflection, all this conclusion, the pastor says, "Are you kidding? No way." What's wrong with that picture?
Well, it sounds like that your council, and it sounds like the council's not working with the pastor. Like, even when that question came up, I would say, well, the pastor's at these meetings. So the pastor is deliberating with you as you go through this whole process. So it's not at the end of the day, we said A, and he's at Z. You shouldn't be that far away at the end of the day.
That's right.
Right. So I would say something was wrong with the process.
So the point is this. Have you ever heard of a pastoral council that meets without the pastor?
Yes.
Yes,
I have.
it has happened. Should that be the norm?
No.
Of course not. Of course not. You know, if a pastoral council meeting is slated for Monday at 7 p.m. and the pastor receives a sick call at 6 p.m., he's not going to make it to the meeting. I can understand that. But to think that a council would meet independently of the pastor as if it were a board of directors or an administrative committee or an executive body that simply did its work in private and then at the end gave him the envelope and said, "Here's what you're to do, Father." That's inconceivable and by no means what the church envisions. This reminds me of, Father Bill Bausch of A Sacred Memory, you know. I remember in one of his books, he said something like, I never go against my counsel, he said. And I thought to myself, well, that's good because you work with it closely. But there may come a time when a council comes up with something that you cannot accept, and your obligation at that point is to say, I can't go in the direction that this council is going. Here are my reasons. I cannot accept a recommendation that would ask me and the parish to do this. And you should be upfront about it, straightforward about it, because if the council continues interpreting from your silence that you approve what they're doing, you're doing them a great disservice. So I would say, if the pastor cannot accept the recommendation, he better speak up and explain. Because, we all belong to one church, and in this church, the pastor is the leader of the parish, and if he can't accept the recommendation, that council is not going to succeed by offering a recommendation that the pastor can't accept.